Welcome to the Lumension Reporting Services video vignette series, in which we discuss how to use specific reports in Lumension Reporting Services to increase the visibility and compliance in your organization's endpoint environment. Hi, my name is Andrea Hillwig, and in this episode I'm joined by Mickey Kernax, Senior Business Intelligence Consultant with Lumension, to discuss how you can customize a report to satisfy your superior's unstructured reporting requests using Lumension Reporting Services. So, Minky, IT managers and admins, they have to provide a lot of reporting to their superiors. But from your experience, what is their biggest pain point?
Well, Andrea, in addition to having to manage the patching process on a regular basis, getting a lot of ad hoc requests from different people in the organization, be it your CFO, your CTO, auditors, your manager, and most of the time if it's a very structured request where it's all Microsoft patches or all Adobe patches or critical patches, that's fairly simple to do. But in the real world scenario, when they're having to do, let's say, a PCI audit, where it's looking at not only a specific number of critical patches, but also your policy sets and a few other recommended patches. So now you're coming into maybe 50, 60, even hundreds of patches and content that you need to report on a regular basis. So in addition to patching and getting things done, you're having to create not just 1, 2, 3, maybe 10 reports.
And those can sometimes take hours, right?
Hours, because you're extracting the data, putting it into an Excel spreadsheet, creating a nice presentable report to your managers and your upper management. Well, we do have a process that actually speeds up everything. Leveraging our product, we've created the status of user-defined patch sets, which basically will allow you one-time assigning patches to a user-defined group and then being able to report off of that group based on your endpoint group structure. So we've chosen the configuration policy compliance here. Also, only enabled patches. So this will only show us those that are enabled in our environment, but we can also include disabled patches. And this means that if you've added a patch and later disabled it, we don't want to show it in this report, but we can if we'd like to. The group structure as well as the endpoint details. So running this report, we're looking at the custom groups. We show a total number of endpoints, the total number of vulnerabilities or content that's patched, and the total that are not patched. So we have 9 pieces of either patches or content total. Only one of them is 100% patched across all of our endpoints. As we scroll into it, it gives us information regarding the breakdown by OS. Going to the next page gives us the detail information on the endpoints themselves. So for this particular endpoint, we have the AC UCF 00865, removing unwanted software, which is patched. But then under the third-party system for the same endpoint, those are both not patched. And as we scroll in, we can see exactly the pieces of information that we need to address to make this report every day. Leveraging SQL Server, we're actually able to automate this entire process. So by assigning the patches to the user-defined patch set, we can automate this to be emailed out or saved to a file share on a regular basis. Every Monday at 7 in the morning, this report should be delivered to the CFO. And this takes the patch administrator out of having to gather the data, spend 3 or 4 hours finding out all of this information. This is done in seconds with our user-defined patch set report.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. Now, can you give us a very brief overview of how they actually set this up? I remember you said something about we can use a mandatory baseline for this. How do you actually set this up?
Of course. So going into our LEMSS console, we'll go ahead and go into groups. And under custom groups, we're going to go ahead and create a group. And we're going to call this report groups. In the description, please note, this report group should never, ever have any endpoints assigned to it. Because we're leveraging the mandatory baseline process, mandatory baselines will force an endpoint to constantly check to see if it's patched, and if it's not patched, it will continually patch that endpoint until it gets patched.
So we're merely leveraging the process, but not the actual functionality of the mandatory baseline.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And actually I've got it already set up here. So we'll go into my SLA report groups, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have our PCI compliance already done, and let's go ahead and look at our mandatory baseline. So Andrea, as we can see, we have quite a few pieces of content that make up the PCI compliance, and choosing this on a regular basis, on let's say a weekly basis, to monitor how well we're doing would take quite a while. So as we go back to our report, I've gone ahead and chosen PCI compliance already. It gives us an overview of how well we're doing. And basically at this point you can tell that we've got 11 endpoints and 72 pieces of content that are not patched at all.
Wow.
Broken down by OS, and in this case, we haven't touched these. So this is what we need to go and remediate. Now, you want to know, as the administrator, what do I need to remediate and where is this issue happening? So we go to the custom groups that we've selected, and it'll give us all of the endpoints as well as the first level child groups. And it gives us all of the endpoints, the status. So of course if it says offline, then it's offline. It's not getting the vulnerability patches that we're sending out to it. So we need to investigate why that's happening. But it tells you all of the vulnerabilities that we've chosen, these are the ones that are not patched. And as we scroll through, we pretty much have our deployment report and what we need to deploy, as well as to the first level endpoints as well.
But also this serves as a great report to those superiors that are asking for weekly updates.
Exactly, exactly. It really gives them a better understanding of what the environment is, what the issues are, what they can do to help. Because I'm sure if they see that all of these endpoints are offline, they may come up with another policy that everyone must check in within, let's say, a 2 or 3 day period, because this does create a risk. And we want to make sure that we're actually taking care of all the risks that we can, mitigating everything.
That sounds great. Thanks so much, Minky.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this short video on how Lumension Reporting Services provides centralized visibility of IT assets and the security posture of the LUMSS endpoint environment. For more information, please visit the Lumension Reporting Services page on our website, where you can also get free premium security tools to assess your network today. Thank you.